In what is probably one of my favorite F around and find out moments last night. Look, I am not, I used to never be pro cancel culture. I am now pro cancel culture. And you know what? Rolling Stone told me that cancel culture is actually good for democracy. They wrote that article. So if anybody on the left is whining about people on the right, using cancel culture, just let them know that, yeah, we are. The Rolling Stone said that cancel culture is good for democracy, and I agree. Hundreds of people have been fired from their jobs for being obvious, political garbage humans. It's not even just like the politics of it. It's just that they're garbage humans and they're getting fired for it. And I just don't care because I believe, and take this screenshot from my X account. Why cancel culture is good for democracy. By the way, my name's Jeremy Hambley. You're on the Jeremy Hambley channel. If you know me from any other channel, you're probably not subscribed here. So make sure you subscribe down below or follow whatever. If you follow, if you're on Rumble, subscribe if you're on YouTube. I don't care that these people are getting fired from their jobs. And let me tell you why. There are only two paths to bring society back from the brink. There are only two paths from society to bring society back from where we are right now. And the first one of them is very bad. One of them is one that I don't want. One of them is a world of retaliation and more bloodshed and more attacks. I don't want that. I cannot say that. Can I be any more clear? I don't want that. I don't want any more bloodshed. I don't want any retaliation. I just want it to stop. Okay? That is one way that society will correct. The other way, which is the way that I do want, is for society to reject these violent radicals who represent about 0.5% of the population, but they populate some of the largest platforms, like Hassan Piker, like Dark Viper AU. I don't want anything bad to happen to these people. I just want society to reject them. I want society to stand up and say, you know what? If you're celebrating a Christian's death, I don't want to employ you. You know what? If you're celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, I don't want to shop at your ice cream store. I don't want to shop at your clothing store. That is how you actually fix this. People talk about how do you fix the abortion problem? The fact that, so many young Americans are using abortion as a form of birth control. It's not by making it illegal. I don't support that. It's by bringing back public shame. It's by bringing back a society, a culture of people that say, you're gross and I don't want to be your friend if you're wearing a I've had 7 abortions t-shirt. You know what? I don't want you working for my restaurant either. I don't want your kid playing with my kid. I don't want you on my bowling league. I don't want you in my knitting circle. That's how you actually fix this. Society needs to reject these people. And that starts with them getting fired. That starts with them being removed from things. Now, here's a video last night of an obese leftist, and basically everyone here at Office Depot agreed with this. So I think that they should be more people. But here's somebody refusing to print a Charlie Kirk vigil poster, not a Charlie Kirk for president, and they call it political propaganda.
So we came in for an order earlier to print a poster for a vigil tonight.
Yeah,
for somebody that passed. It's not
We don't print propaganda, the large black woman with an afro said.
It's propaganda. I'm sorry. We don't put that here.
It's not
All
propaganda.
Right, so, what's your name?
Farrell, I'm print supervisor.
I'm one of the managers.
I'm one of the managers.
So, unfortunately, we
So
do not
they
print.
Buy a shirt that fits. They just call everybody a manager now.
say they don't print.
This woman behind there with the space buns too, this other chick,
So this is somebody that passed away a couple years
That's
ago. from
political
Ebola.
propaganda, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
it's not political propaganda. This is a leftist who hated Charlie Kirk and abused their position of power to not print a poster. I'm sure she would have printed all the, Obama hope posters you wanted. I'm sure they print plenty of Antifa. All they wanted was a poster that said Charlie Kirk, the legendary Charlie Kirk, 1993 to 2025. It didn't say, politics. And people forget, Charlie Kirk was a prominent figure, not just in politics, but for Christians. I'm going to church this Sunday for the first time ever, probably voluntarily. And I bet you they will talk about Charlie Kirk. By the way, if you haven't yet, please go to thequartering.com/join and join the members Discord. We have lots of support groups in there and helpful stuff like that. Just say Melissa just joined, Cindy joined just before that. Get in that members Discord. A lot of news breaking there. This is where this story broke last night for me in the Discord. I don't have to troll Twitter. It's all in one spot. So, of course, Office Depot got brutally, within hours, Office Depot responded. Minutes, practically. We are deeply concerned by the incident that occurred at our store 3382 in Portage, Michigan. The behavior displayed by our associate is completely unacceptable and insensitive, and it violates our company policies. We sincerely apologize to the customer affected and to our community for this regrettable situation. Upon learning of the incident, we immediately reach out to the customer to address their concerns and to seek to fulfill their order to their satisfaction. We also launched an immediate internal review, and as a result, the associate involved was fired. That happened within minutes. That happened in minutes. You need to be removed from, you need to be like a leper colony, a leper, That's what needs to happen to these people. I'm not saying they need to go to jail. I'm not saying they need to have anything happen to them. I'm just saying society needs to point at them and say, get out. We don't accept your sick political views. If you're cheering, let's say, God forbid, something like, somebody takes revenge on a leftist. I disavow that. And anybody in my audience celebrating it is gross. And I don't think that that's okay either. For some reason, people on the right, on the left cannot say that, will not say that. Okay? They refuse to say that. The firestorm over this, it was #1 trending in the world within minutes of uploading it. By the way, people saying we want the other employees fired too. I mean, I don't know if they were involved in not printing it, but they were that person was fired. That's how society is supposed to work. Guess what? I'm pro cancel culture. Teachers, firefighters, and other workers celebrated Charlie Kirk's death. Now they're looking for new jobs. Good. This is society fixing the issue. This is like in Office Space fixing the glitch. We stand up and say, yeah, we don't think that this is okay. We don't think this is okay. We don't want you at our stores. We don't want you around. We just don't. Several people have been fired, including MSNBC's Matthew Dode and others suspended from the work over comments on social media posts related to Kirk, who lost his life on Wednesday. Meanwhile, the Trump administration's State Department warned that it will vet visa seekers and visa holders' social media posts praising, rationalizing, or making light of Kirk's death. I'm fine with it. I'm 110% fine with it. A number of far-right influencers and politicians, including President Donald Trump, have blamed the incident on leftists. Criticisms of Kirk and the conservative movement more broadly have been called for a crackdown on the left. Seems like it would be a good thing. Seems like it would be a good thing to stop, keeping these people among us. And again, I'm not saying physically anything. I'm saying you're not invited to the parties anymore. I don't invite you out to dinner anymore. You spend your Saturdays and Fridays and Saturdays alone on Reddit. That's what you do. This is a reckoning. This is society standing up and saying, yeah, we're not cool with this anymore. We're not cool with this. We don't want you around us. We don't want you at our dinners. We don't want to have drinks with you. We don't want to play board games with you. And the left needs to do this, right? All those moderate Democrats, and there are far more of them than radical leftists. You have these dorks in your game night. You have these dorks in your Magic the Gathering groups or your movie groups. They're no longer welcome. You need to tell them, I don't think that I want to hang around with somebody who celebrates the death of another person for just about any cause. That is the only way you fix this without a civil war, which I don't want. Of course, they ended up going to FedEx, and FedEx printed it, apparently. I don't really know how this was worded. They said that FedEx apologized and printed the poster for free, but it's from Office Depot, Office Max, so I don't know why he said FedEx there. The peaceful way to course correct is by making these people social outcasts. That's the way. You have someone around you being indoctrinated, you try to save them, and then you cut them out of your life. Because the alternative is far, far worse. Hope that fat blob has a good resume.